But now I want to talk about the human experience. The human experience that we're currently living is all of us making money and abundance for a handful of people, where not, the rest of us just end up suffering. We don't have any sort of security on this earth, and this earth is meant to be enjoyed. This earth is dying. The reason she's dying is because all of her resources, it's like we've created a cancer on her. We've become the cancer. There are certain group of people that have been put into power, into leadership roles, that are literally leading us to an apocalyptic state. And I don't even know if they realize this. Like, I genuinely believe that they're that stupid that they don't realize how bad our systems have actually gotten. Or maybe they just don't care. I don't know. But I'm going to share with you visions I've had from the past and visions I get from the future Earth, so that you know what a human experience is actually supposed to be. So, starting with in the past. In the past, a lot of starseeds, aliens have come down to live on this earth to enjoy what she has to provide. Some of us enjoy nature herself, the food, the swimming in the fresh water, the plants, grounding in nature, just being surrounded by nature, the animals. Some of us come here to experience emotion on such a drastic level. If you've ever talked to anybody who's a channeler or a medium, they kind of say emotions don't work the same way up there as they do on Earth. And the reason why is because emotions on Earth are a lot deeper, a lot more intense, and on Earth there is such a thing as duality. It's kind of like when we enter Earth, our brain literally gets split into two. And a lot of us have come on to Earth to have certain human experiences to help our souls progress and expand. So every life we've had on Earth, or that we will have on Earth, helps us learn something new. So if you want to take it into a school, or Earth is a school for the spiritual soul, the spiritual self, you can look at it like this. Every lifetime you come back as a different person with different goals and a different background. In the past, this Earth school has been difficult to do because spirituality was taken away from us, and a lot of the times we had to fight just to survive, just to keep Earthlings and God's children surviving. I also want to talk about, now I am going to do a visual meditation on this because it'll explain what I see better, but I will say this. Life started in Africa and it spread. That is what we now know, the indigenous around the world. And if you look at the witches of Europe, and if you look at the origins of African spirituality, they're very, very, very linked. So if we didn't have Africans teaching us in Europe their spirituality and witchcraft, we would probably never have had any sort of pagan witchcraft, any sort of witches that we now know them as. And that's just one example. When I talk about Earthlings, what I mean by Earthlings are people who are connected to both the cosmos, aka Source, and who are connected to the energy of Earth. Whether you feel Earth on an emotional level, if you feel the pain that happens on this Earth, or you feel like we have invaded Earth and made her worse, or if you feel the need to protect Earth, whatever that is, it doesn't matter. But there's some of us who have a connection to Earth. Now, some of us aren't actual original Earthlings, but we have spent so much time on this Earth that we have a need in our hearts to protect her because of how much we've fallen in love with our lives here on Earth. One thing I really hate is when people are, they can say this, obviously they have a lot of reason to, But when people say Earth is ghetto, being human sucks, take me back to my home planet, I hate that, because I personally remember a time when Earth was alive and vibrating. And what people need to realize is that we as humans were the ones who allowed all of this to happen. And now it's time for us as humans to reverse what has happened and to make it better. The human experience is about experiencing. It is about experiencing and creating. It is about utilizing all of your past memories of your past lives and experiencing that all over again in this new life. The experience of emotions is manipulation of energy. And one of the reasons why we haven't been able to even comprehend what the human experience is actually supposed to be is because we've been so stuck in this greedy, egotistical, non-empathic, capitalistic society where only a handful of people thrive, while the rest of us, 99%, are suffering in poverty, without food, without shelter, without any sort of protection and security. And it's unfortunate, but for a lot of people to survive this, they themselves have had to come into the roles of the greedy, egotistical person just to survive. And I don't think that's fair at all. The human experience from the future point of view, we are going to go through, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to be days, weeks, months, years. I have no idea. But there is, when I say there is help coming, I mean it's us. We are already on this planet. We are just understanding our fight, our purpose, our power, and we are growing into that. And there is a fear that leaders want to cause onto us to keep us in fear, to keep us away from our power. And this is where I say I choose not to deal with idiots, because they keep me in this lower fear that keeps me from attaining my full power. And the human experience is going to be in the golden age. We are getting to that point. I don't know if it happens with Landback. I don't know if there's a huge Landback movement that really kind of gets a huge boost in support. But I do know that the idea of Landback is what a true human experience should be. We are able to self-govern ourselves because we all want the same basic thing. If you look in our laws, there's too much fine print, there's too much on this case, in this case, if this case, if that happened, if this happened, there's too much of that. Basic human rights. Everybody gets free shelter, everybody gets free food. The earth has more than enough to provide, and it's time for us to lean into Mother Earth and allow her to provide. I don't know how we officially get out of this capitalistic system. Maybe it gets to a point where we're all so damn poor we have no other choice, but I know we get out of it. I truly hope that with all of this truth coming out, with all of the unseen becoming seen, I hope that we just choose to stay home and say, if you don't care to protect us, we are not making you any more profit. We are not killing ourselves so that you can buy yourself that gigantic yacht. We are no longer doing that. There are amazing people already creating innovative products and services to help us get out of capitalism. And I want us to talk about that more. I want us, as we speak about the things that are wrong with this world, I want us to start talking about the new world that we want to create. 10 years ago, I manifested everything that is happening right now. All of the truth that is coming out, anonymous coming out in big crowds. I manifested that, and I'm sure other people did as well. The reason I'm saying this about manifestation is because I understand how powerful it is, but it takes time to see it. And I want us to not just concentrate on the bad things. I want us to start concentrating on the good things to come. So, in ending this episode, I want to ask you, what does the golden age mean to you? If you were to create a custom human experience, what exactly would that entail? How would other people be treated? How would you be treated? Do we live in the same capitalistic society? Do we still have money? What kind of food do we eat? And I want to let you guys know this. I remember when Kemet was an oasis. I remember when the earth was literally alive and she is waking up and she doesn't care about the people that have destroyed her. If she has to, she will destroy every single last one. So it's time for us to align ourselves with Mother Earth, because whatever happens with the white male leaders that are leading us, Mother Earth is way more powerful. And she is not stopping. She's only getting stronger. And I hope more of us start to realize this and get on board and aligned with her before there is more destruction. Anyways, I'm going to end the episode at that. I'm going to share more of my visions with you guys through visual meditations. I do have a hard time talking about it just because they're out there. These are visions I've had my entire life. I have a lot of inner knowings that I really want to share, but they're just, I don't think you're ready for them. We're still in a grieving, learning about the evils of our earth period. So I feel like some of the visions I have can come off insensitive. But soon. Okay, so my little words of wisdom for a lot of TikTok creators that I feel like are feeling kind of beaten at the moment, like they don't quite know where to go, what to do, if anything that they're doing is even worth it, if it's making any sort of progress. It is.